and two guys in white suits strapped me up, took me to a mental hospital.
Hold on to me, love.
This EMT guy is praying over me, and I'm so angry, and I can't get out of these straps, and I just spitting in his face, and he doesn't even wipe it off. He just lets it drip off his face, and he's speaking in tongues over me. He whispers in my ear, he goes, "You don't belong here."
'Cause even the stars in the sky will burn out one day.
I think you need to learn through discipline and pay penance for everything that you've done. Since 17, I've been on borrowed time. I was too bad, too early. I know the prison, and now I know that there's something other than being the warden. Go find keys.
The first time I ever heard Defender, did you write that with Rita?
Yeah, I finished it with her.
What is the talent? What is the gift that's in your hand? Bro, I wanted to sit down with you so bad. I was so excited when I started doing this podcast. I put a list together of like different people, and I put you on that list. And then I stepped back and I was like, okay, I love JP. He's one of my favorite people. Is that reason enough to just go like, yeah, let's like why? And I actually stood back. And I was like, why would I want JP on my podcast? And I realized that I think I'm so intrigued at your wiring, the way that you use your gifts, your talents, the creativity. You are a true creative in the like truest sense, in my opinion. But above all of those things, you carry something when you do the thing that you do that moves me. And I can't, you know, I've been around the music world and I know a lot of musicians and a lot of artists. And there's something about you and that literally moves me. And it's hard to describe, but like when I hear something that you wrote or I see you worshiping or doing something, like I actually get emotional. When you, the first time I ever heard Defender, you wrote that with, did you write that with Rita? Or did
I finished it with her.
Finished it with her, but right. You started it out of, I think you were on the drums or something.
Mm-hmm.
You told me that story. So I want you to unpack that story in just a second. But the first time I heard that song, I'm driving down Highway 50 by myself, and I didn't know that you wrote it. But I was so moved. I was like, what is this song? Like, I'm getting emotional as I'm driving by myself down the freeway. Like, just, I could feel the Holy Spirit on the thing, man. And it was like, what is going on? And then I find out you're right. I'm like, of course. Like, that makes all the sense in the world. And so I thought back to when is the first time JP just moved me in the way that he uses his gifts? And it was before I even met you. You're this just very excited individual on a music video called Loft Sessions, just banging on. What were you banging on?
I was banging on a bass drum.
Yeah, just a
big tennis balls.
Big old bass drum. And I remember watching that guy going, that dude's worshiping. Like that dude is into what he's doing right now. That dude is full of joy. The skill was there, but it was way more than just skill, dude. It was like there was something that comes out of you. So my goal in this entire episode is to try to unpack for people like what makes JP and what makes what's the wiring of JP and who you are and how that's been developed over the years, because I think you have something special, but I think you've learned how to use that special thing. And I imagine that's been a journey. I imagine that hasn't been like something that you just woke up with, but I think there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast and they're in a spot of trying to figure out life, trying to figure out their gifts, their talents. Maybe they have something they're passionate about, but they're like, how the heck do I monetize that? And how do I make a living doing this? And there's so much mentorship that we can say, but sometimes just hearing the story is all you need. So that's my goal today, is to like dissect the life of JP and go like, dude, what makes you that way? Because it's incredible. So that was a really long intro, but thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We affirm each other with our feet. So if he says something good today and you see my foot go up, it's just me going, great job.
I
That's
see you.
nice. I see you. I've seen. So, bro, where do we start? Where do we start in this conversation?
I mean, we start with Lineage, because I think I'll start with this. Every pioneer pioneers with a settler's heart. So I don't think I'm doing anything new. I'm just at my best. I'm trying to continue what other people have done well before me, or around me, or beside me. And so my dad, he's, occupationally, he's a nurse, was a nurse for like 40 years. But passion-wise, he's an artist. And my mom was also a, musician and artist. And so they both, in their own ways, encouraged me. My dad from the sense of him never doing it and having little moments where he would, draw stuff or paint things or make, incredible pieces, every once in a while, every couple, years, to my mom, who was a singer and wrote music, had a record deal, was ready to go to Nashville, got cold feet, backed away.
Wow.
And then had kids. So both of them, never ended up doing it. So the way that they encouraged me and parented that were completely different. So that was never it was never a question in my mind if I was going to do it or not. It was more so how that was going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, I don't remember him reading me a single book growing up. He would just tell me about heaven. He would tell me about people. He would tell me about, spirit realm and creativity and color and, synesthesia aspect of everything before I even knew what that was. He would just call that heavenly or sanctified imagination. And, my dad was just, he talked about creativity and taking care of people and the supernatural, not as a theory. It wasn't like an idea.
Wow.
It was like talking about, something that I could interact with 24/7. And
it's as real as this chair I'm sitting
in. And he was, and still is. He embodies that. So it wasn't, I got to see it practiced, all the time. And my mom was very much, just do it, very much pick yourself up by the bootstraps, They both came from hellacious upbringings. And so when they say that God snatched them out, it was real, because I could see, especially growing up, that my parents were extremely different than everybody else.
Wow.
In my surroundings. I went to public school. I moved 6 times, so I was always the new kid.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Philly area.
Okay. Philly boy.
Yeah, so it was a big shift of my parents are very different than all my other friends' parents. And so I was always the new kid. And always being the new kid gives you kind of like a crash course in sociology, So you see patterns, but you also have to fight with the reality of you being your age. So I want to fit in, and I want to be, a part of groups, but there's all these groups, that I want to be a part of. And so I learned the commonalities between, you know, this group and this group and this group. And yeah, they were all segregated, but
Yeah.
there were so many commonalities and they were all invisible, you know, whether it's pride or shame or the need for love or, you know, the need to be heard or seen. Yeah, so that really shaped me.
You saw the patterns of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 100, while also being one of them.
Yeah.
So I was aware of, even though this is the same thing over and over again, and I don't really care to talk about Jordans or, you know, this style or this movie, or it was so surfacey, you know. I still wanted, like, to learn it just to be with them, just to be a part of a group.
Community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time by myself growing up, and learned how to mingle and be, you know, whatever I needed to be with whoever. Yeah, so that was a huge formation process, and music, and you know, and art were always the places that, like, that and family. Those were the only constants. So wherever I moved, wherever I went to, family, music, and art were the things I could always, and video games. You know,
Yeah, you got to throw that in there.
yeah, I mean, it's big. To this day, me and my brothers are still on Discord, you know,
you serious?
most nights. Yeah.
Did you play Halo back in the day?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I wasn't a massive gamer, but I got into Halo. And, you know, back in the day, it's when you'd, like, combine the two consoles.
LAN parties, dude.
And do those LAN parties. So my buddy lived in an apartment below us over. And so I got, like, a 50-foot cable, and we would
Yes.
plug that in. Dude, I would
Yes.
stand in line when Halo 2 came out, played in tournaments,
Yeah.
inside GameStops.
My brothers played in tournaments like Battlefield 2 and Halo 2.
This is why I love you so much.
Yeah. The reason why we got into games so much was because we had a friend named Teddy that
Everybody needs a friend named Teddy.
listen,
That's a great,
Teddy
that's
Teddy
a
is
great name.
Teddy is the jam. He you know, in church, you know how you have like the play dates and mom and dad and their you know, they're going to, you guys
Or
are going to
friends.
play. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, I wasn't going to just naturally go, you know, be with him. He had a, you know, hard time walking, and we were all athletic. And so we were like, you know, it just wasn't a natural thing, but they put us together to have like a play date one day. And I came to his house, and Teddy had like from floor to ceiling, like Sega Genesis, Nintendo, SNES,
Oh, he
Atari.
was that kid.
Like, this dude he knew all the codes, he
He's
knew
a-
the cheat codes, he knew everything. And I walked into his house and was like, what is this? Like, this is insane. And I mean, he's one of like our dearest friends to this day.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's so cool.
he's the absolute jam. But he like really brought the video game aspect to us, and us being, you know, athletic and artistic, video games was the way to connect to him, and found out that like he might be one of the most interesting men
Wow.
ever.
Yeah.
So video games became a way that we always stayed connected, no matter, you know, where we
Yeah,
went.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Dude, I
those are
love
the
that tangent. So where did you pick up songwriting? When did you start playing instruments? You play a lot of instruments. What do you play? What do you play? You know how to play?
I tinker. I can figure out anything that you can, you know, hit or strike. I don't really know how to do any kind of
He says
woodwinds.
tinker, but tinker really means. I've watched him tinker. His version of tinker and my version of tinker are two very different versions. His tinkering is like professional level. My tinkering is really tinkering. But thank you. You're humble. I appreciate that about you.
Well, I
Hey,
started on
good job.
hey.
Good job. There,
I started. Hey, there it is. I started on piano because my mom wanted to get me into piano, and couldn't stand the teacher. But we always had a piano at the house. And then later on, I wanted to play drums because that felt like the coolest thing. But my mom was like, I'm not gonna, like, if you're not gonna play drums first, if you're gonna play another instrument, it's gotta be violin.
Wow.
So I was like, what? So I started playing violin begrudgingly. And then there was this gal in the orchestra that I judged as being, hoity-toity or just like better than people.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like bullies because I had to constantly deal with bullies.
You needed the justice bone in you
Yeah.
was coming out.
So I went home and practiced and then, ended up becoming first chair and sitting with her. Turns out this lady is amazing. She's so sweet. She had a really strict upbringing. Like, I was just flat out wrong. And I fell in love with the orchestra and had an incredible violin teacher as well. And she was so gentle and kind and just whimsical. So I ended up loving the violin. But then after a couple times of moving, I think I went to a middle school and I was getting beat up. And so I was like, I can't have this violin anymore. Like, this thing is a target on my back.
Wow.
So I gave up the violin and then ended up getting into a little bit, snare drum and whatnot, and just always trying to get closer to the drum set.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked up a guitar. I had no idea what my mom had this guitar in her closet, and I was like, what is this girl guitar? Taylor? Like, what is that? I don't know anything about guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, if you get good, I'll give you this. And this was like a 89, 810 Taylor.
Wow.
That she was gifted when she was about to go to Nashville. So, yeah, I just started kind of picking up instruments.
Yeah.
And for me, it's every instrument gives you the ability to express something, differently. Just like clothes,
Yeah.
friends and
Yeah.
locations.
Yeah.
So, and it's all striking. I mean, drums is percussion, percussive, piano's percussive, guitar's percussive, violin, it's still striking, so all of those kind of movements I liked. And then that kind of just turned into people giving me stuff. Like,
Wow.
I have like a sitar that someone gave me and dulcimer and, yeah, it kind of became a thing of like, well, I don't know what to do with this. Do you want it? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to.
Oh my gosh.
So that's been the, the journey is I'd have a house if I could, just filled with stuff I can't pronounce.
Instruments.
Yeah.
Instrument. You're so good. I think the anything I've ever seen you play in such a unique manner. There's something about it, when I watch you play something, it feels like it's coming from somewhere. It feels deep. It doesn't feel like, oh, watch what I can do. Where does that come from? Was that developed over time, or was that just always something that was the creative in you?
I think it was always my search for finding, either my people or that language, that itch. With guitar, I used to play on my chest when I'd go to bed because I had so many, nightmares. I couldn't remember a good dream I had until I moved to Reading. So I'm in like my 20s by the time I have my first like good dream.
Wow.
So I had so much spiritual warfare, so many nightmares. I hated going to sleep because it was the only time where I couldn't defend myself.
Oof.
And so I would just play guitar and just kind of lullaby myself to bed. And with piano, the same thing. It was like survival for me. And playing music just got me closer to other forms of music, people that played. So to me, it was never about the skill set or being great or being seen as something. It was, I had to. It was the only thing that like stopped the noise.
Wow.
I could play. Yeah. So when it comes to really any of the instruments, they're all different you know, they're all different balms, you know, to protect or reflect,
Yeah.
you know.
Wow.
But yeah, survival, I
Wow.
would say.
Good Lord. Did you, what year did you move to Reading?
2009.
Okay.
I moved to Reading 2009. I'm one of the many that saw Kim sing How He Loves. But before that, Randy Clark and Bill Johnson came to my church that I was going to back home, called Washington Crossing. And I thought Bill was like the intern. Like I didn't know anything about him at all.
He looks a lot like an intern.
Yeah, right? I was like, look at this guy, still going after it. It's so inspiring, you know, never stop.
He's got real potential.
Yeah. And my dad was like, hey, if he gets up, stop everything you're doing. I was like, okay. I'm only like a year or two fresh back into the church at that time. And so he spoke, and growing up, you know, if something's important, it's loud in Philly area. And he never raised his voice. And I remember sitting next to my mom, and he's speaking, and everything that he's saying is hitting me. And I'm looking around, and everybody's face is kind of just like, huh? And my mom leans in and goes, it's like he's from a different universe. And as soon as she said that, I was like, that's where I'm from. Like, I feel like he's speaking a native tongue of mine. Like, I understand everything he's saying that I've never talked about. Somehow I instantly get this.
Wow.
And it rocked me. And then I had a friend who, you know, the intercessors, the sweet fire breathers. We were about to go play a set, and there's music in the background. And as they're praying for us, I'm like, who is this, like, Tony Braxton sounding like voice that's just low and thick? And he said, you know, oh, this is Kim Walker. And I'm like, oh, I thought that was like, is that a dude? Is that like an Asian guy? Like, I don't know anything about this. No, it's you know, da-da-da-da, Jesus culture. And he hands me the CD, and he goes, just listen to this. Because I had a real hard time listening to any kind of, you know, music that was being given to me. Like, you need to listen to this. This is the right thing. Like, and I listened to it and just bawled my eyes out, and then went online and found out, you know, there was something called a school of worship. I'm like, I didn't know you could go to school for worship. I'm only like 2 years back, you know, in the mix. And so, yeah, when I found that out, I applied and got accepted, and then went out for that, you know, I think it was 3 weeks or 4 weeks back then, and ended up bumping into this guy that was in front of me that was wearing like skinny jeans and like the deepest V neck and like Toms but no socks, and he had a guitar, and I was like,
era.
you know, and I'm like, in Northeast, you know,
Yep.
it's very like, you don't like say something's cute, or, you know, you don't like express really that much. So I was like, who is this guy? And it turned out we ended up living in the same garage. So like, his name was Matt Stinton.
Okay,
and
Matt Stinton.
Him and I ended up, we were literally going to the same like room. So it was just so sweet how the Lord orchestrated all that. And then from there, I went to go home, because basically that entire time that we were there, I was like, I'm going to meet a bunch of incredibly talented people. I'm so excited to go to this place. And no matter what I did, I tried to play, I tried to do whatever, wait in line. Every single time I just kept getting like, you know, the classes ended, or we're not going to hear your song, or da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, Lord, what is going on? And he just said, like, I didn't bring you here like to be seen. I brought you here to promote. I want you to I want to teach you how to see and how to promote, bring out. And I'm like, okay, we're like 3 weeks in. I'm exhausted. Who do you want me to start with? You know,
Wow.
who do you want me to start celebrating? And he said, Matt. I was like, what? Like, this guy in confidence has shared so much with me about how long his life has been going without being seen. And like, this is the time where it's going to happen. And everything he said he wanted happened, like verbatim every single day. And I was judging him so hard because I'm like, he's getting everything he wants. And I'm like over here in the background. And so when the Lord said that to me about him, I was like, oh, this is nothing to do with him. This is everything to do with my heart posture.
Wow.
Like, checkmate. Okay. And something broke off me. Because I recognized, like, in this funny way, it was this challenge of like, hey, you go do this. This will break this off you. So I just started celebrating every time something happened to him for the last week. And he ended up saying, you know, I'll only come back if, like, Brian himself asked me to come back. I was like, okay, dude. And sure enough, it happened.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't come back. This is too good. This whole place is too trippy, you know? So I go to the prayer house, I think it was second to last day, and this guy's sitting there, and he walks out, and he looks at me, and he goes, are you JP? Are you John Paul? I'm like, yeah. And he looks up at the sky, and he goes, fine. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And he goes, I've been waiting here for hours. Like, the Lord told me to just sit here and wait for a man with two first names. I haven't been to church in years. You know, like,
are you kidding me?
I've been struggling with this. He just won't stop. So I've been sitting here, and then I just got to the point where I'm going to wait just a little bit longer. But now I've done everything you've asked me to. I'm out. And he's like, as he was leaving, I was walking up. And he goes, the Lord has, like, put this on my heart. Just told me to wait here and ask you one question. What are you afraid of?
What are you afraid of?
Yeah. And I'm like, the first thing that popped in my head was Benny. I was like, Benny Johnson? He goes, why? I'm like, because she's prophetic. And he goes, what do you think that means? I'm like, that they see all my secrets, they see all my dirt. Like, she's going to see that I'm like a monster and that, you know, I've done a lot of damage and hurt people growing up. And this big jack, like, you look like a biker dude. I mean, he did have a bike, but like, big MC looking like guy just starts like tearing down his face as he fixes up my collar, and he goes, no, son. No. Just fixes up my shirt, and he goes, she's gonna, like, you're not afraid of her. He goes, that's shame. He goes, she's gonna see all the parts that you forgot about.
Wow.
The parts that you're afraid to welcome back in. He goes, they've always been there. He goes, now I know why I was supposed to be here.
Whew.
Like, he goes, you think you need to learn through discipline and pay penance for everything that you've done growing up. And he goes, you're going to learn through joy. You're going to get disciplined through joy. I promise you. Gave me a kiss on my forehead and just left. Wow. And that just was like, that was my deepest fear. Everything felt too good. I didn't feel like I deserved to be in any place like this.
Yeah.
You know, because I did drugs, I did all the stuff, jail, mental hospital, tried killing myself, like, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I moved a lot, so I was always, you know, kind of by myself in my head. I shot my cousin on accident when I was 11, and that started this downward spiral where I was just dreaming of killing myself and getting out because the shame of everything that happened. And from 11 to about 17, I just wanted to escape. So I didn't think of like dreams or visions, or I didn't think of what to do with my life. I didn't think of who I was going to get married. I didn't think of kids. I just thought who was going to be at my funeral. And so anybody that I met that was really sweet, I'd write in my funeral book and be like, they get to come.
Wow.
They get to come.
As a teenager, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, from about 11 to 17. That's all I was.
Who gets to come to my funeral book?
Right.
That's,
Right. You know.
bro, that's dark.
Yeah. So all the way up to, you know, 17, you know, started drinking heavily, started doing drugs, whatever I could get a hold on, and I loved it because it felt like it was a community that was accepting me.
And probably an escape
Oh yeah, it just stopped
emotionally.
the voices, all the noise, all the
Yeah.
pressure, and I felt like I screwed up so early that I just wanted to get out. So God could pick another John Paul. Like, give all these gifts. I know that I'm skilled and talented, and da 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 da. I know you put so much on me, but I screwed up too soon. So
Wow.
let me get out of here. Let's do a pick somebody else. Just let me get back with you. Let me just get out of here, So yeah, all the way to 17, my high school, I guess my senior year, I tried killing myself about like 5 times. And every time something happened, some miraculous thing happened. And by the end, that 5th one, I was running into the woods. My dad ran after me. I tried jumping him, and I was just, super drunk. And anyway, my next door neighbors knew where I was going. They called the cops. The cops came, but it was late at night, and so I slipped off this little ledge that I was had a rock waiting for my dad. And I slipped. They caught me. I got in a fight with the cops. They locked me up, but I was too drunk, so they took me to the hospital to detox me. And then after detoxing, this psych guy came and evaluated me. And after he talked to me for a little bit, I remember him just looking at my parents and going like, "Sorry, your boy's not going to come home." And 2 guys in white suits, strapped me up, and then took me to mental hospital.
Wow. You're 17?
Yeah, senior year. And I remember I'm in the ambulance, going to this ward, and I'm 17, so I'm not in the adult one, so I'm about to go to the children's one.
Wow.
And there's this dude, this EMT guy, and he's praying over me. And I got beat up a lot growing up, but specifically my first initiation was just getting beat up a lot by these specific black kids when I was in early elementary, and just for being white. Wow. And so it's crazy. The Lord just always has these stories, right, that flip. And this black EMT guy is praying over me, and I'm so angry, and I can't get out of these straps, and I just spitting in his face, and he doesn't even wipe it off. He just lets it drip off his face, and he's speaking in tongues over me.
Are you kidding?
And he's smiling, and just hand on my chest. And as he rolls me into the ward, he whispers in my ear. He goes, "You don't belong here," and just pushed me in, and it just it stayed with me. And then when I'm at the ward, the guy that was over us, this other black dude, he was a producer, he said, and during that time, my roommate, this 12-year-old black kid named Jamal, I think he saw his mom killed in front of him, hid in a closet, and then he got in here, this ward for GTA or something. So he's trying to kill himself every night. They take away, all your stuff, but then they give you a toothbrush, which I think is insane. I was like, okay, we can't have shoelaces, but you give us a toothbrush. So he's shaving that down, every night, and then there's a kid escaping, trying to get through the vents. And so one day I was like, well, why not just put on a rap battle or poetry, something, get everybody to just, because I'm the oldest, right? And I'm like, I don't belong here. That guy was right. These are my people, these are my people.
Wow.
Misunderstood. Just they didn't decide, they all experienced something. Then it's this domino effect. And so I got everybody together to do battles, and people stopped, hurting themselves and picking on each other, and they just started going to their rooms and writing. And it was this incredible experience where I got to see our whole, wing just completely change. So once I got out of there, came back, finished high school, had straight A's like most of my life. I was a smart kid.
Yeah.
I moved because of, I got tested for like an IQ, thing, but I graduated with like a 1.8 GPA, barely, But after that, it was like, okay, yeah, music isn't like a hobby. It's like, it's the language that we all can speak. There's no skill barrier to be able to just to do it. Yeah, you can get better at anything, but this is it. This makes sense. Like, so since 17, I've been on borrowed time, in my opinion.
Wow.
From 11 to 17, I was trying to get out. From 17 on, I'm on borrowed time. So I see everybody as a walking miracle.
Wow.
And I'm never, my brother says I'm aggressively optimistic, but to me, it's like, as someone who has a lot of anger and rage and all that kind of stuff, I get to fight the good fight, and that good fight is I don't have to be merciful with shame. Mercy for people all day. I don't have to. I get to be violent over here
With shame.
and that's where the gentleness comes, because when I'm working with people or encouraging them, it's like I'm talking to the person, and anything else, that shame, I get to actually fight it.
Wow.
And that's exciting as a man.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I have to be, smushed, or turn into something that somebody else deems acceptable. So, that's where the music,
Bro,
comes from.
I'm starting to put it together now, and it's almost like when you've gone through something like what you went through, you come back. You say you're on borrowed time. I think the perspective that brings doesn't solve all your problems, but
Right.
it allows you, in a lot of ways to see what matters.
Right.
And start to prioritize your life in a way that has more meaning to it in some ways, or
Oh yeah. Like I get to torment the enemy. Anytime someone's around me, I'm gonna make him hate the day that he messed with me. So everybody gets to actually be themselves around me. So yeah.
you've got a fight in you because of it.
Yeah.
You've taken the fight that you were aiming at yourself,
Right.
and you decided, I'm not going to lose that grit in me. I'm just going to use it for something different.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. And I get to use, and I mean, you can never overestimate like what someone's going to do when they're believed in.
Right.
I have no idea. I get so bored. Like I'm a smart guy, but that doesn't make life easier. I wish I was dumb. That's a great life.
Unpack that for me. Unpack that for me. You can never, what did you just say? You said you can never underestimate the power of what someone can do when they're believed in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you have no idea. I want to be surprised, right? Like I don't want to just be around like-minded people constantly, and we pick our leader, and then whatever that person says, we do it, and then also that's the person we blame when something goes down. Like I want to be surprised. I want to be present. I want to be here, this adventure. And I have no idea what's living inside of you that's dormant, but my dad and my mom are great examples of, when you are believed in, you enter into something that's always been there, and to see the faces, that's the thing. That's like my crack. Like when I see someone light up, they get younger in my eyes when they do something and we both witness it at the same time. Like hearts, like they're not meant to be fixed. Like they're meant to be witnessed. And so the privilege that I get to witness someone in a moment of making is like the most intoxicating feeling ever,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because our bodies need to have those experiences like often to break those stories, you know, of how we grew up. Because otherwise, like me, you're just bound to project and repeat
Yeah.
over and over again. So the time that I get to spend with people unlocking that creativity that's in them, which I think is anybody, and everybody. That's the most fun experience ever, you know, because then we're soundtracking like this moment. We're saying we exist and we remember and we're here, and something can come out, whether it's a laugh or whether it's a song,
Yeah.
you know, or a hug. Like all of those things are just as important to me. Yeah, it's a blast. And you were a massive part of doing that for me. You know, I remember all those years ago, you told me, loyalty will kill you, but commitment will free you. And I remember there was a moment where I was stuck in a loyalty battle with a bunch of different people. And with loyalty comes borrowed offense.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but my friends don't mix, and that's by choice and by, you know, how I grew up. But being committed to people freed me from everything, and being committed to music and being committed to God, it just frees me from everything. I'm just committed. I choose once, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then whether you go this way in your walk, this way in your walk, you know, married, divorced, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm here. And I also get to be pissed off at you and go, I don't want to talk to you for a while. And then I get to come back as well, you know?
Yeah.
But that freed me. That really, really freed me. And I'm super grateful for that.
Oh, man.
So thank you.
Well, our friendship was very fast. We were fast friends. I think it was 2012 that I met you when we moved to Reading. And you were one of the easiest friendships that I picked up there. Just we could have deep conversations, but still laugh and have fun. And then I just remember not having any of that context about your teen years. Makes so much more sense to me now. You said something when you were talking about that guy that was waiting for you, and he said, "What are you afraid of?" And then you answer his response back. What did he say about joy?
Joy will actually, like, I think he said something along the lines of, like, what was it? Discipline through joy.
Discipline through joy.
Something along that. I might be screwing that up now, but it was that idea of, you know, I thought that things were too good to be true for me because at my core, I was bad. I was too bad too early. And so I just need to be better. I need to be more disciplined, more, you know, da-da-da-da-da. But it's all an identity issue.
Yeah.
So I'm going to constantly do the same habits no matter how much I grow up in life until I, you know, allow my identity to be transformed.
Maybe the funniest part about that to me is that I'm realizing right now in this moment for the first time, I'm like, oh, JP is a real life Ted Lasso. That's who you are.
Dude, that's the highest compliment.
You are a real life Ted Lasso. And I'll tell you what that, like, to me, it's that belief. You know, it's the sign over the door. Believe.
Yes.
It's the, you know, but what's I've loved Ted Lasso, by the way. Like, some of those episodes, I felt like I just went through a therapy session. And I was just like,
never in my life have I stood up in my house after an episode.
Yes.
The very first episode, my wife was so excited. I can't wait to show this to you. I watched the first episode. I stood up and started clapping, and Michaela's looking at me, and I'm crying. Like
The episode for me was maybe the last season, episode like 10 or 11, where his mom shows up unexpectedly.
Is this first season or third season?
The last season.
Oh, I've only seen the first season.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Gosh.
I haven't seen it.
Dude, we need to just cancel this podcast and go watch it together so we can cry together. But there's a moment where he expresses, he's learning to not just be the optimist, but he's also learning to speak the truth.
Right.
And
right, because you can hide.
yeah, and I think that's why I say you're like the real life Ted Lasso, because there's something so human about his character that is not perfect.
Yeah.
And you get to see the thread of struggles that he's going through while still being optimistic, and we got to believe and rallying behind people. Man, I think one reason I'm so drawn to you is because you have a heart to champion people. And that's something that that's something that you and I are kindred on, is like, let's do that. It doesn't mean we don't have our own internals struggles. It doesn't mean that we're clear on all things. But dude, it makes so much more sense to me now. Like, I now have figured it out. Somebody needs to, maybe we'll do it. We're going to do a Ted Lasso version TV show from a musical standpoint, and you are going to be Ted Lasso. Let's do it right there. There we go. We're excited about that. I'm not kidding. I think that would be beautiful because it's so powerful, dude. It's so powerful to walk away from such heartache and hardship in your teen years. Such a low point. To not lose that grit in you, but to reverse how it's used. And then to that word about joy is so significant, because I would categorize you as everything that I see you do has this contagious joy to it, where I can't help but be full of joy. Even just watching you on the drums, you know, just doing whatever. It's like every time I've seen footage of you, I'm like, I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And, you know, I don't have a reason to be the guy that's like, I'm proud of my JP. That's my guy right there. But I think it's because I've seen that season through you without knowing the story. I see the thread of your decisions and the joy that you carry because of some of the stuff that God's done in your life. And I'm like, I get it.
I was allowed. I mean, I'm a product of, interruptions. People interrupting my rumination, and grandmothers that are, that were praying that I might never meet on this side, and people that God put me on their heart that I did everything to try to get them away from. Like, I have tried. And there's still part of me that, can easily keep everybody away and isolate because it's my most familiar. But, yeah, I have been constantly interrupted and collided with people that are like you, that are like benevolently curious and generous with their curiosity. That's why I was instant with you. I was like, why are we still talking? I don't know, but he's talking. Sweet, then I'll be here.
Yeah. Yeah, just that ability to see each other. I could see you. I could see the gifting. I could see the potential. And then I could see, even when I met you, the growing pains.
Yeah.
And the still trying to get clarity on things, and still, you've had, since Reading, I feel like you've been a part of some pretty significant albums. You've been a part of some pretty significant songs. You're an incredible teacher. You now are married. How many kids you have?
3.
3 kids.
Yeah.
So proud of you, bro.
Thanks.
What time is it? Okay. I would love to think through. I'm a little bit like speechless right now because I'm like, oh my gosh, I get it.
Mhm.
Like I get it, because life is not about figuring everything out,
Yeah.
solving every problem,
Right.
just getting to a point where it's like, and I think when we're younger and we're ambitious and we're navigating our own insecurities, our own identity, our own performance, those things carry you and they subconsciously affect the way that you make decisions.
Totally.
But there's something about taking each moment as a growing opportunity, staying curious. You know, for you, you had that word. Like, what has been your growth trajectory? What are like the main elements of like your own growth and your own clarity, like over the last, you know, if you go to the last like 10, 15 years of your life, like what are some of the highlighted moments where you're like, yeah, that was a significant moment for me. That was a moment of clarity, or that was a moment of understanding.
I mean, literally hundreds. I would, my goodness, there's so many. I would say when it comes to connection, I remember a time where I was in Mozambique, and a tribe just saw the Jesus movie. They all said, yes, we're all one tribe now. They give us their strongest guy, you know, their warrior to watch over the new tribe that's won. And my group gave them me. And so it's me and, you know, one of their warriors at this campfire while everybody else is sleeping. And our job is to watch over the whole group for the night. He doesn't speak a lick of English. I don't speak whatever he speaks. I have these AirPods, and I think that I'm going to blow this dude's mind. And so I put in these AirPods and I start playing some music for him, and he's doing this, and I'm like, I'm thinking like, look at this, I'm American, I got technology, I'm about to blow this guy's mind, and he took them off, thanked me, gave him back, and then he grabbed my hand, put it on his heart, put his hand on my heart, and it just started beating, and then he just looked up at the stars, and we both looked up together. And the syncopation, and after about like 2 minutes, they synced. And it was like, oh, I get it. And we just kept our hands on each other's hearts for like at least an hour. We stayed up all night, not speaking a word to each other, just gazing at each other, drawing stuff in the sand, just looking at the fire, you know, all of these other things to express to one another. And I just felt small again in the most wonderful way. Like, am I unique? Yes. Am I special? Yes. And so is everybody else.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about having an extraordinary life. I don't have to worry about the ladder. I don't have to worry about, you know, I mean, the suspicion of lack is since the beginning.
Yeah.
You know? But I've had so many moments where people share these things with me, getting married, and seeing her walk down the aisle, like, was just absolutely magnificent. I didn't even imagine that. That wasn't even a childhood dream.
Wow.
You know? Having my little girl, it's the first girl in generations in my family. I saw her years before I even got married, and she was here. It just, the kindness of the Lord was so prevalent. Having friends in Reading just scoop me up and hold me as I was allowed to break down. Like, I was saying the intellectual thing. I think I can speak for myself, but a lot of people that we call ourselves self-aware are not really self-aware. It's intellectualization. That's a trauma response. It's like if a snake bites you, my self-awareness would go to try to find the snake and ask why it bit me. And I could spend the rest of my life trying to figure it out. But if I don't find it, I'm going to end up having conversations with this pseudo snake and just trying to fill in the blanks. There's so many times in my life I've continued conversations with people that aren't there, that are at the age of that certain trauma with me, and it bastardizes everything. But like a real self-awareness is I got bit. Let's go get rid of the venom.
Right.
You know?
Simple.
Like spending all this time. Remember my cousin telling me one day, he's like, you're so obsessed with why you're in chains.
Wow.
Go find keys.
Go find keys.
You know? And
that's powerful.
It's freed me. And it gives me a way out. That doesn't mean that, it's still more familiar for me to ask why or to find the meaning behind the event or the emotion as opposed to process it. But that's what I'm walking into now with the graciousness of my wife and, therapy and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, so like remember Bill saying there's no weaknesses, just strengths overemphasized. So one of the biggest things I ask myself now is where does this belong? If I don't like something about me, if I'm doing something or this habit, where does this belong? Where is this by design? I'm doing this, but where does this belong in right design? Because it's a constant tug of war of, giving him my life and taking it back, giving him my life and taking it back. So that awareness, where does this belong right now? Am I angry at my 5-year-old that's saying no? Or is the 5-year-old in me that never got to say no angry? Oh, okay, I'm going to leave and take a walk and then come back better. Okay, sweet. But I didn't show him how to process an emotion. So great. Now he thinks dad doesn't cry. Okay, so I got to do this in front of him. So, I mean, just in the last 6 years since we've had kids, man, my kids come with all the answers.
Wow.
Like, I get to grow up with them, and they give me the courage to do it in front of them, which is terrifying. But it shows me all the areas of my life, all the ages in my life that stopped growing.
Wow.
That are all competing for my attention, just like my kids are. And growing up with them, I get to allow all of these parts of me to be heard, and they get to all be integrated. And they've taught me that, failure is like, it's a part of everything. It's embarrassing. It hurts my pride. But, I fail every single day, and I get to be impacted deeply by it because it shows up on their psyche. Like the tone of the Lord is shaped by how I speak to my boy. His worldview is shaped by how I talk to him. His inner critic is shaped by how I talk to him. This is crazy sobering.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I mess up 1,000 times a day. So I'm too busy to think about how great I could be or how awesome I could be. I'm too busy really being just like smothered under the grace that the Lord has allowed me to be here and raise my children and witness my wife and have friends. And so, I feel special as everybody else is. And that clears the board for everybody to be championed and celebrated, and for me to be genuinely curious about what's living in them. Because I believe that, how do I say this? The life that you want is hidden in the one that you already have. And man, that would change our worlds musically, creatively, worship-wise, ministry, family-wise. if we could switch it from being globally acute and locally blind to, to becoming aware of what's in front of us, that'll change my world.
Yeah.
So therefore, it'll change the world that I live in, and so I feel extremely humbled to still be allowed to breathe air. Yeah.
That's some perspective.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Good job.
Yeah, and then we play some music.
Good job. You and your wife are amazing songwriters, very gifted songwriters.
Thank you.
When did you write your first song? Like, how old were you when, like you sat down with like maybe a team or was a part of something? Like, do you remember how old you were when you wrote your first song?
I was in 11th grade. My aunt just got killed in a hit and run, and me and my cousin, we were going to go write a song. And he went and wrote his version of the incident. I went and wrote my version of the incident. And mine was like, she never got married. It was like on a Casio keyboard with like the strings. And it was this whole big thing, right? And he went and came back, and it was kind of funky. And I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, you really want to you want to remember her like this? And it hit me. I was like, actually, fair point. Yeah, scrap this. Like, yeah. So got his like kind of funkier vibe, and then we wrote our first song, and it was a funky song, but about like you did all these things. She got killed in a hit and run leaving the homeless shelter in Jersey, and got hit so bad that she got knocked out of her shoes. This dude was like almost blind, had 2 hookers in the truck, picked off the headlamp from her body, and drove off.
Oh my gosh.
But they ended up finding him later on in this grocery store. And so fast forward, we write this song, and I end up meeting a guy at school. We end up forming a band. We put it on a CD. I give it to my dad because my dad's like, burn this on a CD for me, because we found the guys going to trial. So at the trial, we don't go, but my dad brings the CD, and he comes back that night and goes, the guy heard the song. As soon as he heard the song, he confessed. And so my first, interaction with like writing as opposed to singing or covering is like, oh, this affects people. This is real. We wrote a song that's funky, that's celebrating her life, and that guy just confessed to, manslaughter or whatever.
Wow.
And we ended up forming a band, and it was this wild time of like, I've only known that music affects and is powerful and shapes.
Yeah.
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 I don't know anything else than that. So yeah, that was like
That's insane.
I'm all in,
That's insane. So, gosh, I love your stories. I could just sit here forever and listen to these stories. What are you doing now? So you were with Bethel Music for years, and really, I feel like you were in multiple roles.
Yeah.
Over the years, what are you doing now, and how long you been doing it? Like, what are you up to now with all this creativity in you?
So now
besides being an awesome dad and an awesome husband,
trying. I produce, I write, I do some coaching and mentoring, but mainly me and co-founder Eric Allen. We have a nonprofit called Fathering Artists, and we've been doing it since 2012 when we were in Reading. It started as a songwriters retreat to get people just to come up and write a song as opposed to, torturing themselves about wishing they would have done it at one point. And over the years, that's turned into courses and, more songwriting retreats and, curriculum and mentoring and coaching, even managing. So, yeah, we've been doing that for however long, math, that is.
Yeah, 14 years.
And when we left Bethel, it was like, okay, this was a passion project because we were both deeply involved at Bethel. So, yeah, we decided about 3 years ago to go all in that. And it's been awesome just seeing people, get transformed and really be developed.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what I'm obsessed with. The discovery aspect, getting to work with people that don't know how to hold a guitar all the way to winning multiple Grammys. We all struggle with the same things, and none of us can do it alone. I'm not a product. I'm not self-made, I'm, if anything, a mosaic of people's curiosity and sacrifice and, unction. So we walk alongside artists at any stage in their development and give them structures and formats for how to create their own rhythms and discover how they discover and remove that pressure of product and outcome. Because that's all we really see. Mm-hmm. We're constantly seeing product and outcome, but as an artist, especially if you're starting off, you might not be aware of what the lifestyle is.
Yeah.
So walking alongside of them weekly and giving them daily exercises to do, to retrain that nervous system into like, oh yeah, this is possible. Even if it's 15 minutes a day, I can be unrecognizable in here and out there within 6 months.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So that's fun. Yeah.
It feels like you've taken your own journey and experience and all of those lessons learned, and you've figured out how to package it to help people.
Figuring it out. Yeah.
If people wanted to get info on that,
fatheringartists.com.
fatheringartists.com.
Yeah. We have an Instagram as well, and we have cohorts. We do something called Thresholds, which is like a 6-week course that we rotate. We have a bunch of different instructors that do that. So all year round, there's something to get involved into.
Oh, that's super fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one last question for you, and this might be hard for you to answer. I don't mean it in a prideful sense when I ask it, but I'm just really curious. Like, what is the talent? What is the gift that's in your hand?
Belief.
Belief.
Yeah. God's not a theory. Jesus isn't a theory.
Yeah.
Music isn't theory. You're not theory. I believe you. Whoever's in front of me. You're a miracle wrapped in flesh. I have no idea why he's allowing me to collide with you in this timeline, why he chose me to be in this timeline at this time. But I won't ignore. I won't move past. I'm still here, and I tried. So, yeah, to champion
Belief.
It happens to come through the articulation of music and words. And I haven't really practiced instruments the way that I would want to, in the way that I want to steward it and show respect and reverence for it. but I've studied people my whole life because I've tried to become one. I thought I lost it too early, too soon. But that talent is, I know the prison, and now I know that there's something other than being the warden. And so that mind of ours and our body can either be a sanctuary or a prison.
Yeah.
And my talent is relentless belief.
Wow. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why he is the real life Ted Lasso. JP, I love you, man.
I love you.
Thank you for being with me today
Same.
and talking. Foot five. There we go. Put it in. I love you so much.
I love you
so
too.
so much admiration and respect for you and your family. So thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. And I'm going to continue to just be one of your biggest fans on the sidelines cheering you on, man, because I believe in you a ton.
Thank you.
So much
You've
love.
deeply changed my
Much
life so
love.
far.
Much love.